What up, what up, what up, everyone that is coming in? Welcome, hello. If you are a veteran, if you are a spouse, if you are a child, if you are a caregiver that just wants to understand a bit more about the VA claims process, you are in the right place. My name is D, and I am a 100% PNT, TDIU, SMCS rated veteran. And I am here to keep you other veterans from having to go the entire process that I went through the hard way. I did not know what I was doing at first when I started, and I don't want you to make the same mistake that I have made. So as we get started tonight, guys, as you come in, let me know where you are from. Let me know if you are a veteran, a spouse, or if you're just helping a veteran out. And please let me know if you are a veteran, what your rating is. I'd love to know where you are in your VA journey and how I can help you with that journey if that's possible. So let me get logged into Facebook because I am terrible at setting these things up. I need an assistant. I'm good at talking, but setting up the actual camera equipment is something different. So as you guys come in, please let me know where you're from, King. Let me know where you're hailing from. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. If you are a veteran, please let me know where you are in your rating if you've never been rated at all. If you've never called the VA at all, let me know where you're at. Let's get to talking about it. So tonight we're talking about all things VA, especially about migraines. And then so as we talk about those things, we're going to talk about the CMP prep. And we're also going to talk about any caregivers or any family members that are out there that are struggling with their veterans. Maybe you are a spouse overseas like I am, and your veteran is, he is what he is or she is what she is, and they need some assistance in their struggle. So Steve Griffin, let me know where you guys are from. Shane, as you come in, please let me know where you guys are from. And if you are a veteran, let me know, drop down in the comments what your current rating is, and if you guys need any help, DM me help, DM me claim. Let me know where you are in your journey. I am here to assist you. So if you have any questions for me tonight, please leave them in the comments. Tag a battle buddy, tag your spouse, let them know exactly what's going on, to let them know that we are in the midst of debunking a lot of myths within the VA, especially when it comes to migraines. So let's just get right into it because it is already 8 o'clock here PM in Thailand, and I am not going to keep you guys long tonight. So we are live on TikTok and Facebook. As you guys come in, Patrick, Taboo, Old School, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know exactly where you are in your VA journey. If you are a spouse or a family member or a veteran that needs some assistance, reach out to me, please. I'm here to assist you guys, and no question is a stupid question. So please, Lisa, let me know where you guys are from, Alfonso, and then drop a comment, drop a question in the chat, and we'll take care of that, right? So let's get into it. Let's talk about migraines. Now, I myself have migraines, and if you know anything about migraines, baby button, you know that they're debilitating. And they are not just normal headaches. This is not something that you take a pill for, Bill, and just get over. Migraines are debilitating. They're prostrating. And please remember that word as we talk tonight. Prostrating is the key word that we are thinking of. So we're going to define exactly what that means, along with defining what a migraine is. So if you've never had a migraine in your life, I would say congratulations, because they are one of the worst things that I've ever experienced, and I've been through a lot, guys. As you come in, please let me know where you're from, Mad Cowboy. Let me know where you guys are hailing from, and let me know exactly where you are in your VA journey. I'd love to be able to know where your rating is and how I can help you move from where you currently are to 100% VA rated veteran. Indiana, like I said, I am from Detroit. What up, though? Where exactly in Indiana? Gary? Depends, we are neighbors and cousins, so good to have you guys in here tonight. Please let me know where you are in your VA journey. Like I said, I'm here to help you guys, to assist you along the way. So we are live on Facebook. We are live on TikTok right now. Southern Indiana. Okay, all right, all right. Same difference. Indiana for me, I try to avoid it. I tell you, between Indiana and Ohio, you know, we're like feuding cousins always. But that's what's up. Glad to have you here. And if you guys have any other veterans out there, friends or battle buddies that need some assistance, hey, please let them know about this. Send this to them. Tag them in this video. We are on Facebook. We are on TikTok, and soon we'll be a little bit further along. Currently, we are working on creating an ebook to help you veterans walk through step by step when it comes to getting your VA rating and going through the VA journey. And if you're not a veteran, if you're a spouse of a veteran especially, we definitely have some help for you guys as well. So stay tuned, because we're going to be talking to you guys tonight as well. But so then let's get into migraines. Let's really talk about what migraines are. And we're, like I said, we're on Facebook too. So let's talk about it, guys. Prostrating. Prostrating is the word that you're thinking of. So what is the definition of prostrating? Clearly, in its simple terms, it's a migraine that keeps you from doing anything. Your day-to-day life, it knocks you out of commission. So you cannot think clearly. You can't drive. You can't go to work. You must call in. You must write in. Maybe you just don't even message or say anything at all. If you've ever had a migraine before, you know how debilitating they are. And it gets to a point where if it's only for a few hours, you're thankful. I've had them over a day or two span. And then so if your migraines are keeping you from working, you must document this. You must write these things down. Before I get too far along, let me slow down a bit, guys. Where are you from? Tell me where you guys are coming in from. Let me know exactly where you are in your VA journey. We are talking about all things migraines and VA tonight. If you are having issues getting rated through the VA when it comes to your migraines, you are not alone. Migraines are a pretty hard claim to get service connected, especially if you've never had them documented in your past records, in your active duty records. So understand, Joe Blow and Downers, you come in, Stations, you come in, let me know where you guys are from. Handsome. Hey, I think I'm pretty handsome myself, but hey, if you guys are coming in, let me know where you're from. Let me know exactly where you are in your VA journey, and drop some comments and drop some questions into the chat. I am here to answer whatever ails you guys tonight. So, talking about migraines and continuing on, what is prostrating? If you've ever had to take time off of work due to your migraines and your symptoms, this is a prostrating event. If you've ever had to stop what you're doing in your day and go hide away in a dark room, or if you're like me and you get lucky before you recognize the issues and the symptoms are coming on, you take your VA prescribed medication before they hit. And it's a 50-50 crapshoot as to if it alleviates the pain or not. But usually for me, it's not even 50%, to tell you the truth. I usually fail every time. So then, to give you a little bit of background about my migraines, I know what triggers them, and these are the things that you must talk about when you are speaking to your VA physician or even the CP examiner. You must be able to tell exactly when it started. You must be able to talk about your symptoms, and you must also be able to talk about how it affects you today. Remember, guys, anytime we go talk to the VA, we are throwing up the dynasty sign. We are telling these guys in threes what our issue is. When did it start? What our symptoms are, and how it affects us today, right? So if we are talking about migraines, my migraine started while I was in service. They're usually sparked off by some type of sound, usually because of my tinnitus. And it usually begins on the left-hand side of the back of my neck and works its way up my head. And it feels as if someone is taking photos behind my eyes, like lightning is striking. Stacy, Artemis, as you come into the room, what's up, brother? As you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Please let me know where you are in your VA journey. I am here to take care of you guys and assist you every step of the way. So if you are having problems documenting your migraines and your symptoms, you must, well, let me back up a bit. Let me slow down a bit, right? Because I know you guys are just coming into the room and you guys need to understand where we're coming from. I am a 100% VA rated veteran, and I suffer migraines. And when my migraines started in service, they're usually connected to tinnitus. I hear the ringing in my ear, and it immediately starts to put me out. And if I've got my medication somewhere around, I'm lucky. If I don't, so be it. And then so usually for me, there is no relief. I must go hide away in a dark room, in a space, and hope for the best. As it stands recently, I've been kind of lucky. I haven't had any in a few weeks, but they've been coming in clusters. So once again, my migraines are evolving. I don't know what's going on here, guys, but if you know what migraines feel like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So then usually another fix, or I try to fix of mine, is to put my headphones in and just blast some type of loud music and drown out the tinnitus before it just gets too bad. Then so you guys are not truly thinking about what secondary claims come along with tinnitus and migraines, which is exactly how we're going to build your case tonight and get you to 100%. So if you are already 0 rated percent for your migraines, or if you're not even rated at all, we're going to work on getting you rated for your migraines and rated properly for your migraines. So prostrating, the prostrating, Nico, Mark, so you come into the room, let me know where you guys are from, and let me know exactly where you are on your VA journey. They're not just headaches. They take you out. These are not just regular, I'll get over it in a couple minutes, I'll pop some Motrin, some Advil and get over it. These are prostrating headaches. So then what happens? What happens when we're trying to explain how our migraines are causing us to miss work and to miss daily activities to the VA? Well, if you've never had it in your history, if you've never gone and seen a doctor in the VA for it, you're already starting slow. Sorry to hear it, but there are ways to prove your claim, to prove your case. You need evidence, which means someone in your life has recognized that you've had a migraine before, Leroy, Gilly, and you need to have them help you document. We'll get into that in the future as well, but you need to be able to go get evidence to prove your case, right? So then why do so many claims go unrated? It's because you guys aren't talking about your symptoms in the way that describes what's truly going on. A lot of you don't know how to describe what's going on. Is it throbbing? Is it shooting? Is it lightning? Does it feel like someone's taking a picture behind your eyes? What do you do to alleviate your migraines? What happens? What doesn't happen? I tend to dry heave. I have dry heaving episodes. I've thrown up in the past. I've almost passed out in the past. I've had nausea in the past. I still have that, especially when the clusters come in thick waves. Carson and Let's, what's up, guys? As you come in, please let me know where you're from, and then let me know where you are in your VA journey. So I'm here to take care of you guys and make sure that you get through it, because at the end of the day, I want to see every vet get the rating that they deserve. So why do so many claims go underrated or not rated at all? If you're rated at 0% for your migraines, what did you tell the doctor about your migraines? Were you descriptive enough? If you only have your migraines once to 3 times a week, or once to 3 times a month, do you have them 6 to 7 times a month? Do you have them every single day? You must be able to explain how often you have them and what your symptoms are. Do you dry heave? Do you have to go hide away? Do you have to call off of work? This is how we explain our symptoms. When we throw up the dynasty sign, when we throw up the diamond, we need to be able to explain how it started, what our symptoms are, and how it affects us today. So if you guys coming in the room, please let me know where you're from. If you are a family member of a service veteran, please send this to them. Let them know exactly how they can get rated properly through the VA. And if you guys are overseas, if you're in Asia right now and it's pretty dark outside, you can still log into the va.gov website and upload any information that you want the VA to know. We're also going to talk about that as well. So guys, stick around with me as we start getting deep into what we can do on our VA journey to get rated through the VA for our migraines. And we're also going to talk about the different benefits that come along with being 100% P&T rated through the VA. So as we continue to talk about our claims issue and being underrated, another problem is that you guys go into these C&P exams and you don't know how to describe your symptoms. What up, Artemis, man? I appreciate you, brother. Thank you kindly. Navy Mom, as you come in, please let me know where you guys are from. We are putting it down for migraines tonight. We are learning how to get service connected properly for our migraines. If you're rated at 80% and you just can't figure out how to get to that last 20% to get over that hump, rated at 50% migraines will take you there. You can go into the VA website and type in your rating. The rating scale will tell you exactly where you're at, where you could be if you were to obtain that 50% migraine rating through the VA. And then so when you go in and you guys are talking to the C&P examiner, you're not explaining yourself. Sometimes you allow the C&P examiner to dominate the conversation and not let you get a word in edgewise. And it's keeping a lot of you guys from getting the true proper rating that you deserve. So let's talk about how to strengthen your case. You need to download an app called Migraine Buddy. If you have a iPhone or if you have a Android, you can download it from the App Store or from the Play Store. This is a way for you to download or to keep track of your symptoms and your issues. I apologize, let me slow down a bit, brother. Migraine Buddy. Migraine Buddy. You can search it on any of the platforms. It is usually the first app that comes up when you search for Migraine Buddy, and you can use this to document your symptoms. It is a free app. Like a buddy, like we're friends. My buddy, my buddy. Oh, I speak English. I'm actually an English teacher, and maybe it's just too loud in here. I don't know exactly if the echo's echoing off the walls, but so my Migraine Buddy. We're feeling cuddly when we download the app. So as we download the app, we log in and we document our symptoms. We need at least 3 to 6 months of history. Luckily with the app, you're able to go back in history and download times that happened before today. So if you remember any episodes that you had from a few weeks or from a few weeks back, a few months back, you can still document those as well. So when you're using the app, you want to be able to upload that information to the va.gov website. And it's just that simple when you're uploading any documents to prove and to strengthen your case for the VA. So there's multiple ways to do that. There's, like you said, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, but the easiest way is to log into the va.gov app and to upload your documentation from there. So once you've got that Excel spreadsheet downloaded from the app, you can upload it to the va.gov website, and then there is a piece of evidence to show exactly how your migraines affect you on a day-to-day basis. Now you can also, Migraine Buddy, yes sir, yes sir. And then as you guys come in the room, please let me know where you're from. Drop a comment and drop a question. Let me slow down a bit and look over at our Facebook page to make sure nobody's saying anything over here as well. I tell you, I am still learning Facebook, so you guys have to bear with me. I'm still learning TikTok as well, but you guys got to bear with me anyway. So, Danny Boy, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. What are you rated at? And if you are a veteran advocate, if you are a spouse of a veteran, if you are a child of a veteran, please give a shout out as well, because as we go through this talk, we're going to have a special space for you as well. I understand that a lot of you go through a lot, because I know my wife goes through a lot. As a spouse of a veteran, it is no short task to deal with our own mental health issues, right? So if you are a spouse, if you are a child, you also have benefits that are afforded to you once your veteran makes it to 100% and 100% P&T. So there are multiple ways to get that information over to the VA. You can download the app and upload it to the va.gov website. And you can also log into My Healthy Vet on your phone and upload your information from there as well. So bros, sisters, there's multiple ways to get into it. And then, so if you guys need any assistance, please let me know. I am always here to assist you. If you need any problems, or if you if you need any problems, if you have any problems, if you need any assistance getting into the app, I am more than willing to assist you guys. It is one of the best things that the VA has done for us, and they don't do too much. But if you've ever used the VA.gov website in the past, you would know that it was pretty bazooka before, and they've upgraded and done a lot of pampering to it. So logging into the app and then logging into the website, easy as pie, guys. So let's continue to move on. As you log into the website, let's talk about it. Now, before, a lot of you old schools were able to log in with your DS login. That is now gone. You can no longer log in that way. You also, a lot of you go looking for the My Healthy Vet website. That website is no longer available. It has been merged into the VA.gov website. So if you're old school and if you're looking for these apps and these web pages, they're no longer available. You need to go to va.gov, log in with either your login.gov login or your IDme.login. Now, I think I'm pretty sure that I log in with my IDme the majority of the time. But if you guys are logging in through the login.gov website, you can log in through your Social Security app with that as well. So if you've ever logged in before, great. So then once we get logged in, oh man, I tell you, it is a daunting task to get logged in as well. There's a lot of roadblocks. If you haven't logged in a while, your password may be expired. If you've never logged in before, it may lock you out. If you've never logged in before and it asks you a lot of questions for your driver's license, for you to take a picture, and you're old school and you don't have a smartphone, these things can be a pretty large task for you. So please reach out to me. Please send me that DM for help. I'm more than willing to assist you guys through your journey. And if you've got any vets out there that need any assistance, please send this to them as well. I am more than willing to assist you guys. So I would recommend that you log in through the ID.me option. And then from there, once you get logged in, you can upload any evidence that you have directly to the VA, your VA claim from there. So then let's talk about it a little bit more too, because I don't think enough vets out there truly understand how easy the app is to use. I use it on my phone, and I'm literally able to log in with my thumbprint, with my fingerprint. And then so it's really easy to log in, and it gives you a ton of information. You can also download any past decision letters from the website and from the app. You can download your, let's not get too far in front of ourselves. I'll slow down a bit and get to that in the future. So that as we get logged in, we truly want to know how we can use the website. If you need to get in touch with your provider, you can log in and send your provider a secure message. And you can let those guys know that you're looking to be scheduled for an appointment. You can let those guys know how you feel in the moment, if you're having issues, if you're having thoughts of certain things, unaliving yourself. I wouldn't recommend that you go to the app to do that, but that is a way of going about it. There is a hotline, emergency hotline that you can call. But understand that this application is very simplistic to use, and it is one of the best ways for you to go about not only messaging your provider, but staying up on your claim as well. It has a section that updates you specifically on where your claim is in its VA journey. As you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Give a shout out and leave a comment. I'm here to help you guys get to 100% P&T through the VA. And if you have migraines and symptoms of migraines, we are learning how to take that 0% rating, or we're learning how to bypass the issue of having never gone to the doctor while you were in service, to not only get a 30%, but a 50% prostrate compensation rating through the VA for your migraines. So once you get logged into the website, You can also download the DBQ. There is a 38 CFR DBQ. It is a questionnaire that gets asked to you when you go into the CMP exam, where the VA is trying to figure out if your symptoms and issues are truly connected to your military service. It is just that simple. You must prove your claim to the VA. A lot of you go in believing because you were in combat or because you were in a war zone, your service is presumptive, and that is not true. You must still prove your claim and prove your case. And the way that you go about doing that is getting scheduled for a CMP exam and understanding what your DBQ has listed for your symptoms and the severity of your symptoms. So once you download the DBQ, the 38 CFR for your migraines, you must know what's listed and you must know what your symptoms are in comparison to what the 38 CFR says. If you are having more than 1 to 3 migraines a week, maybe even in a month, you must document these things. And that DBQ will give you an understanding of what the doctor is going to ask you when you come in for your exam. This is an open book test, guys. You do not need to go in guessing with the VA. There is a strategy involved. If you are truly looking for your 100% P&T through the VA, you must understand what your strategy and what your game plan is. So if you guys are coming in, hey, let me know where you're from. Give a shout out. I'd love to know where you guys are in your VA journey and how I can assist you to continue on and get you 100%. So more evidence that you can upload, as we were talking about before, lay evidence or my buddy statements. You need to be able to have someone else state they have recognized your symptoms. And if you have ever had a migraine before in your life, someone has recognized that you've had this migraine. It's almost impossible to avoid it. And then for me, I know that I end up in a room for hours, like I said, sometimes days at a time, where I just can't do anything but sleep and hope for the best. Now, I'm not going to say online exactly what I truly do to alleviate my pain. Samuel, as you come in, let me know where you guys are from. I am from Detroit, Michigan. I am a 100% P&T rated veteran, and I'm here to help you guys get the true just rating that you deserve. If you are a spouse, if you are a family member, if you are a friend, associate of a veteran, please send this to them so that they can get the help and the rating that they deserve as well, because I'm here to help everybody that deserves it. Hey, what up though, North Carolina, Kakalaki. North Carolina, you gotta throw it up. Let me know where you guys are on your VA journey. Where were you rated at? I'd love to know exactly, how else we can get you there, because with this 50% for migraines, this prostrating 50% for migraines, a lot of you will be taking over the hump to your 100%. You just need the proper strategy to actually get there. So you just downloaded that, Barnabas. That's what's up, brother. And then so there's other ways of getting it done as well. I wrote it in the beginning by hand. I wrote it on an Excel spreadsheet by hand, and I uploaded it, and it was the worst. And I tell you, I'm here to save you guys from the same drama, because I know you get to a point, you get stuck, you get frustrated, and you don't want to go any further. Please don't stop. This is exactly why you fail, because you stop. It is really, truly just that simple. And if you're at 70%, brother, I tell you, let me say, I started at 0. Oh, let me back up a little bit further than that. I started at nothing. The first time I put in my claim, I didn't even get 0. I went from 2011 to 2018 and not being rated at all. So then once I did get rated, I went from 0 to 70%. And I went from 0 to 70% PTSD with major depressive MDD disorder, with a certain type of psychedelic friendliness attached. And like I said, I'm not going to say that out loud, but I live in Thailand for a reason. If you know what Thailand offers, it is the only place in Asia that offers a certain type of happiness, and I am here to partake. So with that being said, Let's read exactly what we got going on. How frequently do they need to be at 50%? That is an excellent question. So let us go through the ratings. Let's really talk about this, guys. Let's break this down. At 0%, you are telling the VA it is nothing. Now you have them, but you're telling the VA you are maintaining well, that your migraines are only happening once or twice a month. Think about these things in months. We're thinking every 30 days. Thank you, Artemis. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you again, man. We're definitely going to chop it up and talk about these things. As you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. I am here to help you get you your 100% P&T, and right now we're talking about migraines, and we'll take you there. 0% means you are basically not having any. You have them on occasion. They're not prostrating. They are not debilitating. They are not keeping you from working. They are not keeping you from maintaining a proper job. If you are working and you are working in a protected environment where your boss or your company understands that you have them and they allow for you to go hide away for a couple of hours, lucky you. If you are working in a civilian job that does not allow for those things, you would know that for the most part, you're going to get fired. And that's the difference between having a normal job and a protected job. Maybe you work with other vets that understand how vets go through these things. Maybe you work for Walmart, and Walmart understands that you're going to go through it. But those are only a handful of jobs in society. So understand that if you're telling them you're not being taken out from your migraines aren't debilitating. You're going to be rated at 0%. So if it's happening once, maybe twice a month, that's going to be rated at 0%. At 10%, it's probably somewhere between 1 and 2 times a month. Maybe they come in clusters. Maybe they only happen once a week. That also is only 10%. Now, yes, they may take you out of work for a little bit of time, but they are not prostrating. They are not taking you out to a point of extreme debilitation that you are not able to work at all. Cowboys, you come into the room, please let me know where you guys are from. Drop a question. I would love to be able to answer anything that you guys need to know. I'm here to take care of you every step of the way. So if you're only having them maybe once or twice every couple of months, then that's going to be not prostrating. You are not being taken out of the game. Remember before we said it has to be to a point that it is taking you out of the game. You are not able to drive. You're not able to work. You're not able to function. You don't eat. All you can do is sleep and hide away. I tell you, what happens to me is if I catch them early and I know it's coming on, because the tinnitus will hit me first, and it starts to creep up the back of my neck. I'll either go take my medication prescribed by the VA, or I'll go throw on my headphones and just blast some AC/DC, or I'll blast some jazz, something loud and something beaty, man, because I tell you, that's the only thing that's going to drown out the tinnitus. It keeps you from losing my, so I'm trying not to curse on here because I don't know exactly if there's any youngins watching too, but these are the issues that I go through. And understand, this is prostrating. It is taking me out of the game for multiple hours, days. I'm hiding away from family. I'm hiding away from work. This is not once or twice a month. This is 3, 4, 5 times a week, a month. Prostrating is more often than not. So if you cannot work due to your migraines, if you are unemployed due to your migraines, if you're working in a protected environment due to your migraines, because only other veterans are going to understand your plight. If you can only work in a self-employed manner, because you understand that you need to be able to take time off due to your migraines, that is also a protected environment. That is prostrating. You are not working, you are not able to work in a normal 9-to-5 civilian job due to your migraines. So let's run back through it really quickly. Facebook, 0% is I have them on occasion. They come and they go, but they don't keep me from working. They don't keep me from living a normal life. 10% is they happen once or twice a month, maybe every couple of months. They hit, but they don't hit me in a way that keeps me from maintaining the position. Yes, working from home is a protected environment. I worked for a company in Arizona for 4 years. It was the longest position that I had, and it was simply due because there was a pandemic that happened and people were working from home, and I didn't have to deal with people. I could hide when I had my migraines, and my boss is very understanding. This is one of those Fortune 500 companies that allow for their employees to really have a work-life balance relationship. So I got lucky. A lot of us go overseas to find that exact same situation. I spent 7 years between Iraq and Afghanistan and Kuwait due to most important my migraines and my PTSD as well, because I had a lot of anger issues. That's something else in itself, brothers and sisters. But then so 30%, let's get into 30%. Let's get into the meat of this, guys. If you guys have got any veterans out there, if you're a veteran yourself and you're rated at 70%, if you're rated at 80%, if you're right around the corner from having that 100%, and you've been rated 0% from the VA for your migraines, I have a hard time believing that you are not prostrating with your migraines. I'm gonna be honest. I know a few of you only have them every now and again, but I beg you to truly go find out if those are just cluster headaches or if they're truly migraines. Let's go back through it. What are migraines? Migraines are debilitating. These are the types of headaches that take you out. If you have them once or twice every couple of months, great, that's 0%. If you have them once or twice every couple of weeks, better for the VA, less for you, that's 10%. If you have them 3, 4, 5 times a month, a week, every 2 weeks, if they come in clusters, if you have them every 6 weeks, every couple of weeks, if you have them every day, let's get into it, that's 30%, that's 50%. How do you prove you're 50%? A lot of you go to work and you power through it. That's stupid. I'm telling you right now, these companies, let me slow down. These corporations and companies in the US don't care about you. Stop being that stoic vet that powers through everything. I've done it. It does not benefit you. If you are having migraines on the job, it must be documented. If you are powering through your migraines when you're supposed to be working, stop it, document it. Tell your boss you need the time off. Tell your boss exactly what your problem is. Have your boss respond to you in kind, say they understand. If you get fired, I'm telling you guys, I've had this happen in my past. Understand, if you're looking for the rating that you want when it comes to your 50% migraines, your 50% rating in migraines, it is a hard road to get there because the VA has a hard definition of what prostrating is. If you think you're gonna walk in and say you have migraines 3, 4 times a week with no evidence, you're going to fail. You'd be lucky if you get 0%. So Artemis, as you guys come into the room, let me know where you guys are from. Give a shout out if you are a family member or a veteran with migraines and they power through it and they struggle. Please document it. We're gonna get into these struggles with you veteran family members, you kids of veterans, you wives and spouses of veterans, you cousins and family, you advocates of veterans, you struggle as well. We're gonna get into not only just how you can help your veterans, but your struggles as well. So please stick around, send this out to some veterans and let them know what's going on, because the only way to help them is to actually be educated. So then we're talking about how prostrating attacks affect you from going to work, how they keep you from maintaining a normal daily life, how they keep you from being able to work because you're laid up in bed for hours and days at a time. So what if I have tinnitus? Can I do migraine secondary with 6 months on the app? No, absolutely. This is exactly what we're going through. This is exactly the game plan that we're walking through tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you have tinnitus, if you are rated at 0 for tinnitus, if you are rated at 10% for tinnitus, that window from secondary claims was much larger before the VA closed that loophole. It is much more difficult to connect your secondary claims to tinnitus than it was a couple of years ago, but it's still definitely possible. But there are other avenues past your tinnitus. A secondary claim to tinnitus can be migraines, but it can also be depression. It can also be PTSD, Karen. It can also be anxiety. You guys got to remember what else comes along with it. Your neck bone is connected to your mental health bone. All of these things fall into understanding your 38 CFR, what questions are going to be asked of you from the VA rater, and being able to describe your symptoms and understanding truly what's happening to you. So you've got to be able to go get that documentation. If you can't get it from your boss because your boss is just who he is, you know, you probably pissed him off a couple times anyway, your spouse, your family member, your coworker, HR, whoever. Make it official, get it documented, write it in email, write it in text, scan it, and upload it to va.gov. Maybe on your phone or on the website. So if you're rated 10% for tinnitus, yes, it's a bit more of a hard road to get there, Artemis, and I appreciate you, brother. Thank you kindly. But it is still possible. Don't think of just the tinnitus in connection to secondary claims for being migraines. There's PTSD. There's depression. There's anxiety. There's lots of other things that come along with that as well. There's vertigo. Vertigo. If you know what vertigo is, oh man, I felt like my head was inside of a fishbowl. I'm dizzy. I passed out once or twice. You need to be able to explain in threes, let's throw up the diamond, when did it start, what are your symptoms, and how does it affect you today? When did it start, what are your symptoms, and how does it affect you today? Facebook, repeat it with me. When did it start? It started in service. What are your symptoms? It throbs, it aches, it's numb. I don't care because I have no passion, I have no desire. Whatever your symptoms are and how it affects you today. My migraine started in service due to working on a flight line. They gave us those trash earmuffs, bunny ears, and the 3 M's, trash. They did nothing. If they gave you that at all, you're lucky if you got that at all. And then so you never went to sick call, you never talked about it because everybody had tinnitus on the flight line. And then now you must prove your claim in the future. So now we've already spoken about when it started. Our symptoms are, I don't know what yours is, but that's mine. And it leads to migraines, vertigo, depression, anxiety. What are my symptoms? Those are my symptoms. How does it affect me today? Baby button, I hide away. I must hide in corners until it goes away, and nothing fixes it. You guys must learn how to describe your issues and your symptoms, baby buttons. You come in, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know where you guys are going in your VA journey. I'm here to help you every step of the way. So now that we've learned exactly from 0 to 10 to 30 to 50, if you are not having completely debilitating and prostrating, it is taking you away from gainful employment, then you are not 50%. And if you are 50%, and you don't have it documented in your history, you must create that history. How do you create that history? You send emails to your boss saying, I am taking today off. I am having a migraine. Stop powering through for these companies. So then you take that day off and you take that information now that your boss has responded and said, hey, I hope you feel better. Sorry for it. And you upload that information to the va.gov website. You go download the Migraine Buddy. You download the Migraine Buddy app and you go back 3 to 6 months and you tell them, I have nausea, I have vomiting, I dry heave, I hide away in the dark. I have to hide away from my family. My family can't deal with my attitude. They know I'm like, screw them. And I love my family, but migraines are something else. If you've ever had a migraine in your life, you understand these things. And then so you describe all these things, and then from there, that's when you need to take all your information to the VA. And then once the VA understands this, of course, they're going to send you back through another C&P exam because they don't believe anything you say. They got to prove it all. That's how we go, right? So now let's get into it. Do you need a nexus letter for tinnitus? Do you need a nexus letter for anything? You technically don't need a nexus letter for any of your compensation claims because the VA, when they send you through your C&P exam, that's what they are doing. They're trying to find out if they can connect your service, what you're saying happened in service, truthfully. Did you have it documented because you went to sick call for your back? Did you have it documented because you went to sick call for your migraines, for your sleep apnea? Did you have it documented in your past? No, you didn't. Then you need to prove it now to the doctor you're talking to. How do you prove it to that doctor? There's a 38 CFR DBQ that the doctor is going to read from to find out if you have migraines. And not only is he going to, or she is going to find out if you have migraines, they're going to figure out how often, the severity, the frequency, and the severity of your migraines. And if you tell them, well, I have 1 or 2 a month, then that just means you're 0%. If you tell them I have 5 or 6 a week, every day, every month, and you have documented evidence of this, and so once again, you guys don't understand that these things take clear evidence, and there must be a path, and there must be a strategy. You can't just throw stuff at the wall, David, and hope that it sticks. You must be prepared before you go into this exam, because that's exactly what it is. It's an exam. But you're not prepared because you didn't read the 38 CFR. You didn't respond to requests that the VA asked you to follow through with documentation or coming to appointments. You were too scared or nervous to go to the CMP exam, so you just didn't show up at all. And you get denied. Or if you don't get denied, you get lowballed, because once you do get into the exam, you don't know how to describe your symptoms. You don't know how to tell them when it started. And you don't know how to tell them how it affects you today. I'll slow down. What up, Artemis, man? Hey, guys, as you come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Please let me know where you're going in your VA journey. Drop a note. Let me know where you are at, because I want to know how I can assist you every step of the way. I'm here to take care of you guys. I know that every vet, man, when we join, we have these ideals of what we're going to do, how we're going to get things accomplished. Some of us join and don't have any idea at all. And so the military tears you down, and you get to a point where you take everything as the first answer. The VA has trained you, the military has trained you to take every first answer that you get as gospel. So when the VA tells you no, or when the VA gives you a low ball, you stick with that, and that's BS. And so I'm here to take you guys to the rest of that journey, because I know it's hard to do alone, and I know you don't like hearing no, and you're accustomed to just letting it go. But we're gonna stop doing that, guys. We're gonna get you rated at the proper rating that you deserve. We're gonna take care of you, make sure everything that you are afforded gets where it needs to be. So let's continue to talk about it. How do you prove it? You track your migraines on the Migraine Buddy. You get medical evidence to show. You have your spouse or your coworker or your boss write you a note, which is what we call a buddy letter, or a late statement. It's the same thing. Artemis, appreciate you, brother. And then when you get into the CMP exam and the doctor starts to ask you questions, you already know the answers because you read the questions before you walked in. And to throw a little bit of spice on the cake, you can take your notes with you. This is an open book exam. If you are like me and you have to read your notes to make sure that you remember exactly what you want to say, you can take these notes with you. By all means, take these notes with you. Because if you have the memory issues that you say you have, how do you remember the things that you're having issues with? You've probably repeated them 100 times like I have until this point if you've dealt with the VA in any capacity. But if you haven't truly, then you understand that you must be able to remember. And if you don't, hey, that's on you. But I'm telling you right now, you can take notes with you in to talk to the doctor. There's nothing wrong with it. If you have memory issues and you need to be able to tell the doctor what you want to tell the doctor in real time, take your notes. All right, so let's talk about it. Do you have to schedule a CMP exam, or do they? They're going to schedule it for you. They're always going to schedule it for you. And then, so when the VA schedules your CMP exam, it's usually going to be between 4 companies. Now, excuse me, I don't remember all the names of the companies, because they're constantly taking them away and adding them back and changing names because they get in trouble, blah, blah, blah. HLR, QTC, something Quest, there's 4 of them, people. I'm sorry, I'll have a better answer for you next time, and I'll understand. I'll get it to you, Artemis, brother, but there's 4 of them, right? So they're gonna call you from random numbers. They're gonna send you emails from random places, and you're gonna ignore them. Because you're not going to know. You're going to be like, that's spam. You're gonna get a phone call from some random area code and you're gonna say, what the, and then hang up. The games that the VA plays, they're gonna schedule this appointment for you. You must be ready to answer phone calls from people you've never seen before. If that means that's a bill collector when you pick it up, but hey, too bad, so sad. Answer that phone call. Answer that phone call. Because the VA is gonna call you randomly and they're gonna schedule you randomly. I've been scheduled on Saturdays. I know veterans have been scheduled on Sundays. You're going to get scheduled randomly. So be prepared for these issues with the VA, man. These are the games that they play, but I'm here to make sure that you guys are ready for them. So as you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Please let me know where you're in your VA journey. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you as always. And then what happens is it happens in filing a claim. That happens after you file a claim. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's exactly what happens. So you put your claim in, right? You've gone and got all your documentation. Let's say you've gone and gotten everything that you need to prove your claim, and now you're submitting it to the VA. You go through va.gov and you upload it all, and it says, do you have a fully formatted claim? And you say, yes, I'm good. Let's get it done, bro. And then within a couple of days, they're probably already going to be calling you. Or you might not get a call for a couple months. Play the game. Welcome to the VA game. Welcome to the system. Relax. Eat the cookies. It gets better. So when you start getting random calls from random numbers or emails that probably go to spam, you gotta go look for the stuff. You gotta be prepared to look through your spam folder. You gotta be prepared to answer phone calls from random numbers that you've never seen before. You gotta be prepared to look in your mailbox for a letter, just a white envelope that's gonna say Department of VA, and it'll tell you that you've got an appointment scheduled, or it'll come from QTC, and it'll be a huge envelope randomly one day saying you're scheduled for tomorrow for an appointment. Congratulations. Welcome to the VA. Sit down and eat the cookies. Frederick, what up though, from Texas? What up though, Big Tex? I'm not a big Dallas fan. No, I'm not a Cowboys fan, man. You guys are insufferable. I'm like Stephen A. I'm kind of like when it comes to the Cowboys, man. You guys are horrible fans. But hey, love to have you in the chat. Thank you for joining. You guys are horrible fans. But hey, love to have you in the chat. Thank you for joining. If you guys have any other VA vets, if you got any vets out there, if you're a vet yourself, please let me know where you're from, and please send this out to any vets that need assistance, because we do ourselves a big disservice by truly not just continuing on through the system and dealing with the highs and lows that come along with the games that the VA plays. And then now we know that they're going to call you randomly, they're going to send you random emails, and they're going to send some random letter to you telling you that you're scheduled for an appointment. You got to answer the phone call, you got to check the email, you got to send the letter back, you got to do these things. And then so once you get scheduled, whatever day it is, you've read the 38 CFR, you already know what the doctor's gonna ask you. Yes, that document is a little dry, but we're working on getting our 50% prostrating migraines. And if you don't know what the doctor's gonna ask you, you're gonna be rated at 0%, or you're gonna get the dreaded no service connection. And then you're gonna wonder why they denied you. Then you're gonna be pissed, and you're gonna get jaded, and you're gonna quit, and you're not gonna do it, and that's what the VA expects from you. That's exactly what the VA expects from you. So, Artemis, brother, Frederick, Texas, Big Tex, as we go through our VA journey, understand the biggest and best things you can do for yourself, big Texas, is self-advocate. Is to continue on and push through. Even when you fail with the VA, failure is better than not doing anything. Because even in failure, you learn what to do for them and you correct your mistakes as you go on. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about some mistakes that I made, brothers, because if you want to know more about my migraine journey, if you want to know more about Migraine Buddy, if you want to know more about how the VA rates migraines, what prostrating means, what protected environment, protected jobs are, if you don't know how to explain your symptoms, if you've never looked at the 38 CFR for migraines, it is a daunting task, all of these things being wrapped up into one. Come holler at me, guys. Drop some notes into the DM. Let me know where you're from. Send me a message. Please get that tap and send it out to any vets that you know, because a lot of times we just don't serve ourselves, guys. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Problems that I've experienced in the past and why I stopped and why I'm telling you, you guys should continue on. When I was first going through my VA journey, I had no idea what I was doing. And I submitted my claim the first time myself and got completely denied, obliterated, right out of the sky. And then so that was 2011, and I didn't come back until 2018. And then when I came back in 2018, I said, you know what, I probably need a little bit of help with this. I'm gonna go see a VSO. Joy, as you come into the room, please let me know where you guys are from. I'd love to be able to help you guys on the rest of your VA journey and understand where you are. So dealing with VSOs, let's get into the pros and cons of VSOs. Guys, if you've ever dealt with VSO, please drop a note into the chat, into the comments, and let me know how your experience with your VSO. Let me know how your experience with your VSO, because I've not only dealt with VSOs, but I'm also like the president. I've gone through the VSO process, and I went through for about 6 weeks and decided it was not for me. Because as you go through the VSO process, Artemis, you find out that VSOs are like court-appointed attorneys. They're only as good as free gets you. When was the last time you got something free that was like the best thing that you've ever got? When was the last time somebody said, don't worry, this is for free, but it's authentic, it's gonna take you to where you need to go? Never, never. They're court-appointed attorneys. And then so you're gonna get one out of every 20, 30 that's truly gonna help you. But the rest of them have no skin in the game, and they're only there because it's something for them to do. They get to hang out at the VFW with the boys, they get to talk about all the old times that they had in the past, and every now and again a vet will come in and look for some assistance, and they'll throw a bunch of papers at them and say, go at it. And then so that was my journey in the beginning. I walked into a VSO's office, and I said, brother, I need some assistance. I don't know where I'm going from here. And I sat down and he said, what are you looking to claim? And I said, what? My back, I guess. I have issues with my knees, and I have problems sleeping. And it was all right. So it was about right. Just pop that in, and that was it. That was it. And then so he threw all that information in, my name, my birthday, all the information that he take. And then he printed off this huge stack of papers and was like, here you go, bro. And I said, what in the hell am I supposed to do with this? No idea. He didn't explain anything. And then so I took those papers and I put them right to the drawer in my office and never saw them again. So let's talk about VSOs, the pros and cons of VSOs. Yes, they are free. If you're just starting in your VA journey, VSOs can be a great, valuable assistance. They can get you started. They can point you in the right direction. They are free. They don't charge anything. It is a good way to get basic information to get started with your claim. Now, if you've ever invested in your life, you know that there are apps out there that are good for basic investors, and then there's other apps out there that are good for more advanced investors. And then so if you've got something free, I don't know if anybody dealing on the advanced side of investing would ever take a free app to invest with. So if you're dealing with free for the VSOs, you're gonna get free. I'm just saying. And then I hope that I can talk about it simply because I tried to be one for a while, so I might be a little jaded. But so then they're free, and a lot of those guys at the VFW are truly just there so they can kick it with the old schools all day, and they're not really there to help you guys. I'm sorry to say. Some of them, when you walk in, they truly will try to help. They really do want to help, but a lot of them just don't know what they're doing, and a lot of them don't have any type of true claim assistance. Because me going in and being able to say, well, I don't know what I should claim here, let's just throw these things at the wall and hope that they stick. If he, as a true help, would have told me, no, young brother, let's decide how we're gonna take this path and truly fix and get your claim right, it would have been much better off for me. So CM, what up though? As you guys come in, let me know where you guys are from. Artemis, and you guys, if you guys are still here, please send this out to any other veterans and tap and let them know that they can get some claim assistance with their migraines, their depressive disorders, their substance abuse, their anger issues. And these are things that veterans suffer with in silence because we're stoic and we don't want anybody to have to deal with our pain. We're so accustomed to taking everybody else's pain, we don't know how to share our issues with others. So if you've got any vets out there that need any assistance, please send this to them, because I'm here to serve everybody. So let's continue to talk about it. VSOs, they're free. You get free when you deal with free. Now, a pro of them is that they're accredited. They're trained by the VA. I told you that I went through the system for a little bit. I was there for about 6 weeks and decided it was not for me because I could see the true bureaucracy behind it. But I did go through the system a little bit. And then so they're accredited, which means they're recognized by the VA, which means they had to go through a class and truly become accustomed and acquainted with the technical side of the VA system. What up, though, Frederick? Let me see. What if the VA got my military interest dates wrong? Brother, don't get me too far off topic. Let's go with it. Let's do this, right? So we're saying that the VA got your interest dates wrong. Wow. Hold on, guys. TikTok wants to close on me because it thinks I'm not talking anymore. I don't know why. Maybe you guys aren't tapping enough. If you guys got any vets out there that need this assistance, please send this to them. Send this to them, because we are getting everybody rated properly tonight. So if your dates or any information is wrong on your, hold on for a second. Yeah, I'm guessing it's on your DD-214. Where exactly did they get your interest dates wrong at? What documents are they listed wrong at? So there's multiple ways to go about getting your information fixed. The best point to start is calling the 1000 number, the VA.gov help number, to get on the line with one of those guys and say, hey, listen, this is wrong, I need some assistance. There are other ways to go about it as well. You can send them a message to the VA.gov website, but you're not going to get much information back from them. You might get a blip if you're lucky. Call the number and tell those guys, hey, listen, my information is wrong. I need some assistance. Now, here we go. You call the VA and you're going to talk to a person, and you got a 50-50 crapshoot if you're going to get somebody that knows what they're talking about. If you, as a vet, you already know BS when you hear it, right? You know when you're getting a runaround from somebody that's telling you some crap. If you call in and they give you some information that you know clearly is BS, even if you don't know the true answer, hang up and call again. You're gonna get incompetent people at the VA. You're gonna get people that don't care on the phone at the VA. You're gonna get people who are upset and bothered through the day at the VA. 70% of the people that work at the VA are civilians. They've never been through what you've been through, and all they hear is veterans complaints all day. It is hard to empathize with someone when all you hear from them is complaint. And then as a civilian, these veterans are calling in and they're getting rated and they're getting government money every month, and you may feel a certain way. I'm not putting anything on anybody at the VA. I'm telling you that we're all humans, we're all biased, and we all have our feelings and beliefs. It just is what it is. So if you're dealing with the bureaucracy at the VA, understand that you're gonna run into problems sometimes, and not having proper documentation. If you call the number and tell them that you need some assistance, you may have to call back and call again. But then, so they should be able to point you in the right direction from there. I tell you that I've had issues with documents in the past. Quick story, my father and I have the exact same name, and we also have the same birth date, of course, other than he was born before me. And then so the VA would a lot of times get a lot of our information confused and mixed up. And my father was never even in the military. So sometimes I would get paid and he would get paid. They would send my check to him. Sometimes he would have a debt and they would send his debt to me. Brother, this is a whole in depth when it comes to VA. I promise you, Coach Josh, I promise you, Artemis, I promise you I've been through every issue the VA could ever throw at you. And so then sometimes I wouldn't get paid. I'm being serious. And sometimes I would have a deficit and then because my father wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, and I would have to pay that deficit. If you guys are coming into the room, don't make me cry. If you guys are coming into the room, please let me know where you're from. If you are a rated veteran on your way with the VA, let me know where you are in your journey. Let me know how I can help you make it the rest of the way. We're trying to get everybody to 100%. And then so, let's continue to talk about the good things of the VSOs, even though there's not much, right? So they are able to access the VA system. They can literally go in and see real-time information about what's going on with your claim. Someone like me, someone like you, yourself, you can log in at va.gov, but it's just gonna give you blanketed information about where your claim is. But a VSO can log into the system and truly see what's going on and where you are in the phase, and what else needs to be done to move along your claim. But that's only if you get a good VSO. You got to get a good one, If you don't have one, if you got one like me who just didn't care, who threw papers at me and was like, go at it, you get free. Free is free, brothers and sisters. So understand exactly what you're getting into with that. But then also understand the VSOs do have to go through a class. They must go get certified. So you know that when you're dealing with them, they truly have the knowledge to help you with your claim and actually walk you through step by step. Now, will they give you a system? Will they give you a plan? Will they help you understand secondary claims? Will they help you understand what the best course of action is when it comes to the VA and gathering medical evidence? Free is free. Free is free, brothers and sisters. So let's get into the best part of this, the negatives, the cons of VSOs. As you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Please let me know how I can help you in the rest of your VA journey, because I'm here to take care of you guys. Let's talk about some of the cons with the VA. Not all VSOs are created equal. And you're going to get a lot of trash VSOs. You're going to get a lot of guys who just don't care. You're going to get guys who are just there to drink the alcohol in the VFW. You're going to get guys that are just there to tell you about their military history. Not all VSOs are created equal, man. If you go find one that is actually good, congratulations. And VSOs are like military VA doctors. If you've ever had one or two good VA doctors before, if you're in the system, you know that they are far and few between, and that the majority of the doctors that work for the VA are just trash. This is the exact same thing with VSOs. So if you go get someone that's free, who there's no way that they're ever going to be able to see a dime from their service, why would they work hard for you? You guys gotta really think about these things before you go just take free, because you would much rather see the front end of your back pay as opposed to a lifetime worth of benefits that come along with truly getting the true help that you deserve to get to the 100% that you deserve. So I've had a veteran tell me in the past that he had a VSO work for him, and then the VSO's wife got sick, and then the VSO just said, screw this, I quit. And then when that vet called the VSO and said, hey brother, you were working on my claim at one point, the VSO made him feel like he was the problem. He told him to get off his case, that his wife was priority number one. I sympathize. I would never want to be in a position to have to choose between my wife, my spouse, and my job. Doug, as you come into the room, let me know where you guys are from. Give a shout out. Let me know how I can help you on your VA journey. But you started a service, you have a due diligence to follow through. I see it from both ends. So if you're dealing with VSOs, you're dealing with someone who has no skin in the game, and they truly don't care about you getting to your 100% or not. You're gonna have limited follow-up with them, because if they decide to just quit on you one day, you're gonna get a lot of slow response time as well. They're gonna get to you when they get to you. Once again, you're only getting paid nothing, so why would I follow up with you ASAP? I have no reason to truly follow through on your claim, especially since, once again, I may be jealous. I may not be at a 100% myself, and now I'm helping you get to 100%. Sometimes us as vets, we are crabs in a barrel. Guys, wherever you are from, please give a shout out. Let me know where you're from and where you are in your VA journey. If you are a family member of a service member, if you are a spouse of a service member, we've got some information for you guys. We're going to take care of you as well, because a lot of you go through it with us as well, and you need some assistance too. So the CMP examiner noted in her notes to the VA that a nexus letter would not have mattered in my case. And then, so I apologize. I think I got a little bit off topic. So yes, the nexus letter is not always necessary, because the VA is going to send you through a CMP exam where they're going to create a nexus letter for you. But understand, if you go get your own nexus letter from your own private doctor that says more than likely than not, your symptoms are tied to your VS service, your military service, and these are the symptoms that you're having, you're better off. Think of it like baking a cake. And then, so depending on the ingredients that you're using, some of the ingredients are maybe outdated, maybe not up to quality, but you're a chef. So you make sure that you go get the highest quality standards of ingredients that you can get. And then, so the highest quality of standard for a nexus letter is go get your own private documented nexus letter from someone that knows how to write it. That's the highest level that you can get. And then, so if you allow the VA and the CMP examiner to write your nexus letter when you go into the CMP exam, so be it. But you, excuse me, you've truly got to prove your case to that doctor when you go in with that doctor. The VA has no other nexus letter to go off of except for their doctor that's more than likely going to say that your issues aren't service connected because they work for the VA. These guys are tied into the system, the matrix. So no, you don't need a nexus letter when you go in, or maybe even in your case, depending on how severe your issues were, you may not even needed a nexus letter to prove your claim. Your claim may have been so overwhelmingly strong, you would have not have needed a nexus letter for it to begin with. So for me to have gone from 0 to 70% J-Rock and Frederick, I did not need the nexus letter for my own private doctor, because when I went into the CMP examiner, my triggering event was being in the Pentagon during 9/11, being stationed at the Pentagon during 9/11. And then, so when she started to dig down into the 30-day CFR, the DBQ for PTSD, I checked off so many boxes, it was crazy. I think she truly wanted to give me 100% at the time, but that's my own belief. But she didn't for a handful of reasons, and that's because, you know, some of those boxes I was holding back on as well. Some of those boxes, you know, where I should have told her that I'd been arrested multiple times, I didn't. I didn't include that. I was nervous to tell a female that, you know, I was in a shameful position. Larry Flores, as she come into the room. So after having gone through the conversation with her, she took me to 70% immediately. And it was because, for one, I went in and started to finally tell the truth, and because the evidence was so overwhelmingly on my side, her nexus letter was almost guaranteed. So you may be able to go in and prove your case so overwhelmingly, you don't need to have an outside nexus letter to begin with. So I don't bake too many cakes, but I don't know if the nexus letter part is flour. I know you don't always need flour to bake a cake. You can do it in other ways, but if the substitute is a lower level grade of flour from the CMP examiner's nexus letter that they're going to give you, good luck, so be it, if that's what you get. But I would always recommend that you go get your own medical evidence to prove your claim, because what's better than your own grade A doctor that you've been speaking to for months, that's not affiliated with the VA in any way, that can say, I believe more than likely than not that this veteran's issues are due to his service, due to his time in service. And then that's your nexus letter. Can you get that from anywhere? No, because not every doctor knows how to write a nexus letter. And then some doctors write nexus letter and they write bad nexus letters. So I'm sorry guys, it's the VA system. There's just so many intricate parts, so many small things that go into it. this is why I say, this is why I'm a firm believer in you guys coming to get true service and true direction to help you with your claim, because you don't want to be like me when it comes to having to wait 10 years, a decade to finally get rated properly. So Chuck, what up though? As you guys come into the room, let me know where you're from. And then like I said, if the examiner said that there was no need for a nexus letter, it was probably because you were already so overwhelmingly positively believed that there was no need for it. But there's always a nexus letter involved. When you go see the CMP doctor, he is writing your nexus letter for you, may it be favorable or not. So you can go get it yourself, or you can take it from the VA. I would just not take it from the VA. I would go get my own. So let's move on. Let's continue back to the VSOs. Your VSOs are not strategic. Your VSOs don't know how to take you from point A to point Z without throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and hoping that it sticks. I'm sorry, guys. TikTok, sorry. They don't care because they're VSOs. So you guys are completely fine with trying to get your future benefits set up through someone who, from the beginning, does not care about your benefits. I don't make that make sense for me. So then they're not strategic. They don't put you in a position to win. They were really putting you in a position to fail. And then at the end, the last part is that they're not gonna advocate for you. You're going to need to continue to self-advocate for yourself even after you go talk to a VSO, because the VSO is not going to do for you what you should do for yourself. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is when it comes to the VSOs. They're not being paid, they're free. They're like coin-appointed attorneys. You're gonna run into a my cousin Vinny every once in a blue moon. But if you're hoping and praying for a situation like Danny DeVito, when you go in to see the CP examiner because you were never prepped by your VSO, I feel for your claim. And I'm just being straight up honest. Frederick, what up though, man? So I was diagnosed with a disability by the CMP examiner. It was service connected, but it was still denied. Service connected, but still denied. So once you get your denial letter, once you get your rating code letter, when you start to read to the back of it, it will tell you specifically as to why you were denied. And as you read through it, it's usually only a handful of reasons as to why it was denied. And the biggest, of course, is always is not service connected. Now you got your service connected, but it was still denied. What other reasons could it be? Service connected, but still denied. Well, it could be service connected, but still denied because you didn't go to sick call, or because it wasn't documented properly, or because your symptoms and your severity at the time was not what maybe you went in with the suck it up mentality. So when you should have been saying it's an 8, you were saying it was a 4. There's lots of reasons as to why it can be service connected but still denied. Maybe you said something in the CMP examiner's exam where you brought up something else that didn't truly have anything to do with your time in service. Taking case me having been in Iraq and Afghanistan for 7 years. That has nothing to do with my issues that began in service. But if you go in and you start talking about how you got hit in the head with a boulder during a mortar attack in Balad, what else does the VA have to believe other than your TBI was caused by something hitting you in the head while you were in Iraq, instead of the blow you took when you fell from the ladder that you climbed as a fireman in service? So if you give the VA any opportunity to say that it's service connected but you're denied, or it's not service connected at all, you have to be prepared to fight that. You have to be able to go back and say, hey, listen, what is the reason they denied me? What are the rules for why they denied me? Can I fix this? And what is the evidence to fix it? As you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Drop a like, drop a comment or a question into the chat so that I can answer all your questions and hook you guys up as we go through your VA journey, because this is for you. I am a 100% P&T TDIU, SMCS rated veteran with housebound status. And I recognize that a lot of the issues that vets have are simply due to their own issues. They hold themselves back. We hold ourselves back. We don't know how to self-advocate. So I plead and I beg, guys, if you do anything today after hearing, if Facebook, if you're out there, if you do anything else today, go log into va.gov and start your claim now. And if you've already started your claim and you've been denied, go back into va.gov and tell the VA that you are coming back with new and relevant evidence by putting in a supplemental claim or putting in for a higher level review. You are not going to get the rating that you're looking for unless you fight for it. And it is just that simple. So what up, those? You guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. Does the higher level VA really help you? So man, I told you I've got a story for everything. I've got a story for everything. When I was on my journey from 0 to 70, I went from 70 to 80. And then from 80, I said, man, what else happens from here? I know I'm still having more problems, but I'm not really getting any true guidance. Remember, my VSO sent me a stack of papers and on my way. So now I'm really doing this thing on my own again. And I've gone from 70 to 80. And I don't know how to get to that last 100%. So I went back in for my migraines, which is why we're talking about migraines tonight. And I said, I need to get my migraine service connected. But I never complained about migraines to service, not once. So when I went back in for my VA, for my migraines, I did everything that I told you guys that I did. I turned in buddy letters. I turned in evidence from my boss. And then I went and talked to the CMP examiner. And the CMP examiner told me, let me slow down a bit, because I get upset just even thinking about the story. It took me an hour to get to the exam in the first place. And then when I got there, on time, mind you, she was not there. And I had to sit and wait for about 45 minutes. I was pissed when she came in. And what she told me literally made me, I almost spit my coffee up. It was near Christmas, and she told me her husband had just bought her a puppy, and this puppy was untrained. And this puppy had pissed all over her bed, and she needed to clean it up before she came in for my exam. What the fuck does that have to do with me? Excuse my language. I'm trying not to be upset at these things because I think about these things and I try not to break stuff. As a professional doctor, your dog in your personal life has nothing to do with my claim. And I was lit. But not only did she come in late and have me sitting there waiting, she denied me, she denied me, she denied me. And so a lot of you from that point would just say, I'm denied, that's the end of this. But I didn't. I went back for a higher level review, an HLR. And I requested to talk to someone else that was not a part of the original claim, can have an outside view of the situation. And it took me about 2 or 3 months to finally get on the call with this person. I got scheduled, guys, here we go, let's back up a little bit. I got scheduled a week before she called me and I had to be ready. I had to take off work to get it done, but I was determined. And I told her the entire story. And I was pissed. And then it was probably about a month and a half later that I got my 100%. They gave me my 50% prostrating migraine headaches to the VA. And it was because I went back for my HLR, my higher level review. I spoke to someone and told them what my situation was. I truly got some help. So like I said, sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. Because this woman decided her dog and his piss was more important than my exam. Not only was she late, but she failed me. And she was probably biased in ways because, like I said, humans are biased. But if it wasn't for my HLR, if it wasn't for the higher level review, I would have never gotten my 100%. So I got my migraines rated at 50% prostrating. And I did it through a higher level review over the phone. I did not need to go back into another C&P exam. So as you guys come into the room, let me know exactly where you're from. Artemis, man, I appreciate you, brother, but we're gonna do some good things with each other, man, I promise you. Bigfoot, as you come in, bro, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. I'm here to take care of you guys every step of the way. I am not a gatekeeper. Anything that you want to know, I am here to answer. And if you are a spouse, if you are a child, if you are a VA advocate, please, please, please send us to any vet that you know so that we can get them rated properly, because Big Rob, a lot of us veterans just don't know how to advocate for ourselves. So if you are a loved one of a vet, please let them know that they are not here alone. There's someone that cares for them enough to help them through this journey. And look, guys, I know I'm kind of circling back around to the VSO stuff, and then I'm talking to Facebook as well, so stay with me a little bit. But if you are new to the journey and you're not sure where to start, VSOs are a good starting pad. If you've ever played an instrument, you don't start out with the highest level of instrument. You start out with something that's manageable and feasible, and a lot of times that's your VSO. Is it going to be a great situation? No, but it's a good start nonetheless. But once you get lowballed, once you get denied, once you get ignored by the VSO like my good friend did, come back and talk to me. Come back and talk to someone that truly knows how to take you through the system without the extras, without the BS that comes along with not caring about your situation like a VSO would, brother. So understand, there's a time and place for everything. VSOs are good for a certain situation, but they're just not good for much. They're not good for much at all. So let's keep on talking about it. Let's keep on moving. We're talking about our families and friends and spouses. We're talking about the people, the loved ones in our lives. And if you guys are in the chat, if you guys are listening to me, if you guys are family and friends, if you're advocates of a vet, no doubt, Frederick, appreciate you too, brother. Thank you for your service. Let me know also where you guys have been stationed, because I'd love to know where you've been. Like I said, I was stationed at the Pentagon my entire career. I never got to go anywhere, so I never got to see the true Air Force, the true military, as they always said. I got stuck in that black hole, man, and it didn't let me go until it spit me out. And so, as long as we keep going on, the family and friends, man, you guys are unsung heroes. You guys are the ones that take care of us behind the scenes when sometimes we probably don't even deserve it. We don't help ourselves. We don't self-advocate. We're so used to just sucking it up and moving it along. We don't know the aura, the energy that we give off to our loved ones and our family members, and how it's so much of a drain on them too. So let me give you some tips as a family member, as a spouse, as an advocate of a veteran that will help you on your VA journey as well, because a lot of us don't know how to keep moving on. We don't know how to do it for ourselves. Yeah, the Cap Lejeune, oh man, let me stop for a second. So I know Lejeune from before was covered under the PACT Act because of all of the Agent Orange and everything that went down there. But I don't know, brother, if you're a Vietnam veteran or if you're a younger vet, but if you were out at Camp Lejeune, I know that the PACT Act covers presumptive conditions, some of it being cancer, some of it being asbestos, and if you inhaled asbestos, there's a lot of things covered under that PACT Act if you were stationed at Camp Lejeune during certain times that can help you tremendously in moving your claim forward. And if you guys don't know presumptive, it just basically says, well, you know what? We're going to get into that. Let's continue on with our family. Let's talk about that a bit, but let's continue on with our family first. I try not to get off topic too hard, but Camp Lejeune, you guys have a lot going on for you if you were out there at a certain time, especially if you were a Vietnam veteran. So families, friends, spouses of VA members, listen, encourage your vet to tell the truth. A lot of the Vietnam vets, a lot of the Gulf War vets, a lot of those guys don't know how to speak up. They don't know how to talk about what's going on in their lives. They've been so conditioned to stay silent, to suck it up. Telling someone that truly would not understand them as being a civilian is more than anybody can even fathom sometimes as a vet. So encourage them to talk about their issues. Encourage them to really understand that it's not being weak, to talk about how they feel, to talk about what their issues are, to talk about their symptoms. It is them finally being honest about what's at stake for their future. We don't sometimes think about what comes along with the benefits of family being rated at 100%. There's lots of not just educational, but medical benefits that come along with being a 100% rated veteran for our families. So let's continue to talk about it then. If you want to help your vet truly get the rating that they deserve, everything that happens with them needs to be documented. We've now learned that the biggest issue of not being service connected through the VA is that a lot of you just did not go to sick call while you were in service. And then so how do you prove your condition now that you're out and you don't have any documentation from the past? As a veteran advocate, as a family member, you see things that we don't see. So if you notice the small quirks of OCD, or if you see that they have problems getting out of bed, if you know that he or she can't take their shirt off without your assistance, if they don't tie their shoes because they can't bend over to do these things, if they forget to turn the stove off and they start to cook, food sits in the microwave for days because they forgot that the food was in the microwave, if their calendar looks like the United States flag from all the different colors, because there's no way they're going to remember an appointment unless it's written down and there's a reminder to the reminder. You must help them document these things because they're not going to document themselves. So as a veteran advocate, as a family member, the best things you can do for them is to maybe keep a private journal and document hygiene, document the insomnia, document the nights that they don't sleep with you because they can't sleep, where they sleep in other rooms, where they go on 28, 29, 30-hour binges of being awake and then they crash, when they have panic attacks, when they have migraines, the symptoms of those migraines. We have a hard time self-advocating. And then so as a veteran spouse, as a family member, the best things you can do for them is to keep those journals and keep those appointments for them, to make sure that they don't miss these things, that they don't avoid these appointments, because we just don't know how to self-advocate people. And if you're coming into the room, please let me know where you're from. Give a shout out. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. If you are a veteran advocate, if you are a family member, if you are a spouse, please let me know where you are in your VA journey and how I can assist you. I'm more than willing to reach out to you and make sure that you're taken care of, and so that we're helping you guys go through your VA journey as well, because we recognize that veterans are a handful. We are a lot to deal with. It takes a special type of person to decide that they're going to deal with a vet, especially long term. Veterans are very well known for going through divorces and being divorced multiple times. And these are things that are well documented through the VA. So I tell you, when it comes to being a veteran wife, a spouse, an advocate, you are a blessing in disguise. So don't give up on your vets, because they need you more than what they tell you sometimes. So then we know that we need to help them keep track of things. We know we need to help them make sure that they get to their appointments. But then, so how do we do that, right? We know that we need to log into va.gov. We know we need to log in. If they are having issues logging in because they don't know their password, call the 1-800 number and ask for assistance. I know it seems scary to call these phone numbers. These are other people on the end of this phone call. They are human just like you. Call the number, go through the prompts, and ask them to reset your password. Get logged into va.gov. Once you get logged into va.gov, it will take you maybe 15 minutes upload your information. But we know that the vets in your life are having problems with these things. You must be their advocate. So then we know we're logging into va.gov. We know that we've documented all these symptoms. We're going to help this vet get all of their information uploaded, and then we're going to make sure that they keep them organized. We're going to make sure that they don't miss anything critical. We're going to make sure that we are there for them every step of the way. Bro, so what's up, Frederick? Let's talk about it. I was forced to change my MOS while in boot camp. Is that legal? Forced to change? You know, I'm not sure if being forced to change it is illegal. I know that I changed my MOS or my AFSC while I was in, so I'm not sure if being forced is illegal. But if you were in a command that did not play right, if you were in a command that was just trash like my command was, if you dealt with a higher change that just didn't take care of you properly, that in itself may be a path and a way to getting rated for depression, for anxiety. You know, a lot of us don't think about these things, but the stuff that we go through while we're in the military are not normal. These are not normal everyday events that civilians go through, and we go through them every day, day in and day out. So for us, they become normalized. We become desensitized to a lot of things that civilians don't understand. So if you were, for the most part, forced to change, was it due to your command being trash? Was it due to something happening in service that they tried to cover up? Was it due to SA? Was it what was the reason for being forced to another MOS? There's always that why. These are the questions that you must ask yourself when you're dealing with the VA. What comes next? And there's always the next question of why. So if you're thinking, hey, maybe I got forced, and I'll give you an example for me, because I tell you I've been through everything, brother. I was forced out of the Air Force. I was forced out on the force shaping program. And it was because I was severely overweight. I went from 165 pounds. I was an athletic machine. I could dunk a basketball. I'm 5'10", and I could dunk a basketball when I joined the military. And I went from 165 pounds. I was running, let me brag a little bit, people. I ran a 40 in 4.55. I'm serious. I was that dude when I was young. And within a year of joining the military, I went from 165 to 185 to 205. I was on the Fat Boy program for damn near my entire career. And then so when they were tired of me and they were finally ready to get rid of me after all the BS that I had gone through, from the late nights of eating terrible snacks and being over dorm guard at night, so you eat all this trash all night long and you gain all this weight. So then they put you on a program and then they don't teach you about nutrition. All they do is yell at you and curse at you and make you feel stupid and less than. And then they drum you out of the military because you're overweight, you can't keep up, and you don't know what the problem was. You haven't been taught about nutrition. You haven't been taught how to maintain yourself. All you know is go PT, go PT, go PT. And then so these things add up. And then when we get out, we don't understand why we're obese. We don't understand why we're diabetic. We don't understand why we have sleep apnea issues. These were all caused in service. These are all things that added up while you were in service because of things that most people never have to go through. And now you're a civilian and you're dealing with the consequences. And this is the truth. So now you must learn how to advocate for yourself. And if you guys don't have anyone to advocate for you, you gotta do it yourself. But guys, if you are out there and you are an advocate, you are a family member, you are a child or a veteran, I'm here to assist you guys because I'm here to take you through step by step how to get your veteran rated. So then we know that we're documenting everything. We know that we're recording everything. We're recording patterns of our veteran not sleeping, of how they fight and kick and bite in their sleep. If your veteran stops breathing in their sleep, if they have sleep apnea, they don't know usually, but you do because you hear the zzz all night. Document these things for them. How often do they stop breathing? What happens when they stop breathing? Once you wake them? Once you wake them, do they go back to sleep? Do they stay asleep? These things must be documented. And if you're an advocate, you're more than blessed. We appreciate you because We're difficult to deal with. VA veterans, man, I tell you, we're something else when it comes down to it. So let's keep it moving, right? So then we know we're recording patterns, and we know we're taking care of our veterans by creating statements. Now let's get into the meat of this one. Lay statements or buddy statements are huge. They are the sprinkles. They are the icing on the cake that is the VA compensation claim. If you can have someone write a statement for you stating exactly what they see, what they've dealt with you, it not only helps and strengthens your case, but sometimes it can be the part that puts you over the top for your claim. What up though, if you guys are coming into the room, please let me know where you're from. Let me know how I can assist you. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. I am here to take care of you every step of the way. We're gonna be here for a little bit longer. And I wanna make sure that you guys during this talk get the rating that you deserve. If you do nothing else while you are listening to me, get logged into va.gov and put your claim in right now. Just put a claim in. I know that sounds so easy, but it is that easy. Go into va.gov, log into va.gov, start your claim. You do not need to have a fully developed claim right now. You can go gather evidence and come back. But put the pin into the system right now so that you get that back pay once the VA finally adjudicates your claim. And if you are a veterans advocate or spouse or child, log into va.gov, put that information in for them. I keep keeping this thing up, sorry guys. And make sure that they get the rating that they deserve, because sometimes veterans need your help just as much as anybody else. But let's see, brother, I've been trying to get my original orders. It's been a whole year. Here we go. C-files. C-file is where you get all of your information. It's different than your blue ribbon report. Your blue ribbon report is where all of your medical history is, from the medications that you take to the times that you've been in to see sick call, to the times that you've gone into the VA. But your C-files, everything that you've done, every place that you've been, every write-up that you've had, if you've been booted out on dishonorable discharge, whatever you're looking for. We have veterans that have put in for their C-file last year and is still to receive it. I'm sorry, these are the games that the VA plays. If you're not even just looking for your order, say your DD-214 or any other documents from the VA, good luck. And I say that in all sincerity. This is the first line of BS from the VA. Is to deny you any documents that you're looking for that can strengthen your case. So when you go looking for your C-file, or when you go looking for your DD-214, or when you go look for all these things, they're gonna give you the runaround. Here we go with me. The first time that I went to go look for my DD-214, I requested it online. And they reported back, we don't know where your DD-214 is. What? What? You don't know where my DD-214 is? Oh, go ask your state. Go ask your state. So I went back and asked Michigan. Hey, you guys got my DD-214? Michigan said, we don't know what you're talking about, bro. We ain't got no DD-214 for you. So I went back to the National Archives and said, bros, come on, man. Michigan said they don't have it. They came back and said, oh, we found it. Here you go. We'll send it to you. We'll send it to you. So from the time that I asked for it the first time to the time that I got a response that said that you had it was about 7 months. But it took another 6 months to actually get it. Woo! 6 plus 7, right? So now that I finally got my C-file, do you think it was in paperwork form? Do you think it was in soft copy? Do you think it was in PDF version? No, it was on a CD drive. When was the last time you looked at a CD drive? Name a laptop or a desktop that still has, name a desktop that still has a CD-ROM drive. How are you supposed to download your information from a application that has no way of accessing it? You got to go to Walmart and buy a trash drive to connect externally to your laptop so that you can read your information that the VA sent you a year later. As you guys come into the room, please let me know where you're from. I'd love to be able to tell you what I can do to help you on your VA journey. I am D. I am a 100% VA-rated veteran, and I'm here to assist you every step of the way. The first line of BS of the VA is to deny you documentation to help you with your claim. So if you're looking for your C-file, if you're looking for your orders, if you're trying to change information, good luck. Good luck. and you've probably already talked to the place that can help you out with it. If you've called the phone number, if you've walked into a VFW, if you walked into a VA facility, what answer did you get? Did you get any movement? Did anybody give you a better answer? Welcome to the VA. Sit down and eat the cookies. It is one of those things where once you start to deal with them, you recognize every step is a mortar. Every step is a bear trap. Every single time you try to move forward with them, there's going to be a problem. Welcome to the VA, guys. Patrick, what's up, guys? As you come to the room, please let me know where you're from. I am a 100% P&T rated veteran, and I'm here to help you guys every step of the way in your VA journey. So we were talking about VSOs earlier, and we were talking about families and spouses and advocates of veterans. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits. Once you get to that 100% P&T, that sweet 100%, that one hundo club, you've made it. You've made it to 100% level, and now you don't know what to do with it. You didn't plan on it. You didn't think you were gonna get it. And I know when I got it, I went from 0 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100. With a little bit of a caveat in between. I actually went from 0 to 70, 70 to 50. Got downgraded. 50 to 80, 80 to 90, and then 90 to 100. Man, if I took you through all the steps that I've been through, guys, we'd be here all night, but let's keep it moving. So we know that there are benefits involved in being a 100% P&T veteran. Let's talk about it. So one of the first and one of the best that my family just went through is CHAMP VA. It is a program through the VA that's separate from a veteran's being able to walk into the VA and get seen for your family. So for your wife, for your kids, they are able to be seen at a primary doctor at a discounted price. Now, there's a caveat. If you live overseas like me, there are no VA facilities and there are no CHAMP VA facilities that you can walk into, so you must pay out of pocket. There is a program called FMP, or Foreign Medical Program, that takes care of you when you have to pay out of pocket. That is a whole nother thing in itself. And the majority of the time, the FMP doesn't reimburse you because they find reasons to tell you no. Welcome to the VA. Sit down and eat the cookies. So your family's covered under CHAMP VA healthcare, and they are able to go see a doctor at a discounted rate as long as you are in the States. And it is low cost healthcare for your family and your children. And it includes doctor visits, it includes prescriptions, and then mental health and hospitalizations as well. So like I said before, they have to deal with us. And sometimes we don't realize the burden and the pain that we cause them. And sometimes they need to go see the doctor as well because of it, especially due to mental health and mental health issues. So the benefit of being at 100% is that your children can be seen by a doctor at a discounted rate, at a discounted price, and especially living in the States and knowing how expensive it is to live in the States. So let me know where you guys are from. If you're in the States, let me know how expensive medical is there, because, oh my God, I couldn't do it anymore, guys. It's just not for me to be in the States with that situation. So we know that your family's covered under Medicare, under CHAMP VA. And so that is a great program for them. But then they are also, and one of my favorites is the Chapter 35 education benefits. So your children and your spouse get to go to school for free. And not only do they get to go to school for free, but the VA gives them a stipend as well. So whatever school they decide to go to, say it's University of Arizona, they pay for your wife's education, and they also give them a certain amount of income so that they can afford books, they can afford food and other accessories, whatever comes along with being a student. So once you get to 100%, you can put your kids or your wife in for Chapter 35 benefits, and you don't have to pay out of pocket for your kids' future, especially if they decide to go to somewhere like University of Arizona, which is expensive as all hell. Good luck. So the VA will take care of that for you, and will also care for your family through the medical program. So there's also, like I said, mental health resources, free mental health resources for your family members. If you've just worn your family to the bone and then they need assistance as well, the VA will help them, and I guess in some capacity. If you've ever been through mental health with the VA, you understand that you're probably just better off dealing with it yourself the majority of the time. So at least that option is there. You can get low cost and maybe even free counseling through the VA, through, hold on for a second guys, let me make sure, through Military One Source. Military One Source is where you want to go to find that information, to figure out exactly what you're granted when it comes to being a veteran spouse or child, and benefits and such. So let's keep it moving because the best is yet to come. Monthly compensation. Yes. So let's talk about it because I am 1, 2, 3, 4. I am 4 dependents deep, and they're expensive. Dependents are expensive, and so the VA kind of compensates for that by giving you dependent pay. Mind you, it does not keep up with inflation. It's somewhere between $100 and $200 a month per dependent, but understand, that could be somewhere between $400 to $800 extra in a month that you would not have had because of the program in itself, which is pretty cool because they can be compensated up until, I believe, 18, and depending on if your child goes to school, I believe they can continue to be compensated up until they are 25 years old. I'll have to figure that out for you guys specifically. Maybe it's 23. But you also have burial benefits. Now, a lot of you vets have not set yourself up because you hate thinking about the future. So you have not set it up for your dependents to bury you. And I realize mortality is a hard thing to swallow. You must consider your family and how it puts them in a position to fail when you do not plan for the future, when you do not plan to have your benefits, your burial benefits carried out properly by going to the VA and setting up your dependents so they do not have to worry about you in the future when you pass. It's one of the best things you can do for them. And if you are a dependent and you need help and assistance setting that up, I am more than happy to help you guys out because that is not something you should ever put as a burden on your loved ones once you pass. The VA has programs in place and now you know it. Take care of your dependents before you leave this earth. There's nothing better that you could do for them than to set up a true legacy. So with that, there's also the caregiver program. Now, so for a lot of you family members out there that are caring for veterans, you're not being compensated. Guys, as you come into the room, let me know where you're from. Are you caring for a veteran? Do you check in on your veteran a lot? Must you make the veterans food? Must you bathe and clothe them? Must you remind them of their medications? Must you drive them from place to place because they lose their crap on the road? Must you make sure that they make it to their appointments on time? Must you help them get out of bed? What do you do on a daily basis that benefits this veteran? And if you do anything, the VA has compensation for that. There's 2 different programs. There's the caregiver program, and then there's the aid and attendance program. Now, we're not going to get into the aid and attendance, but the caregiver program is a program that will benefit, that will pay for your veterans' respite care or for daily activity where they need assistance, but they can care for themselves as well. So do not pass on that because the caregiver program not only helps take care of that veteran, but it offers resources and training for you to help you better care for that veteran. So it pays you and it trains you. You guys have got a lot of benefits out there that you should truly take advantage of. And then the one that I have not taken advantage of yet, but I plan on very soon, is Space A travel. Now, if you've never flown Space A, it's not all that great, but it's not horrible either. But flying free is unheard of in the US. If you've ever taken a flight from Detroit to Florida, what did it cost you? If you've ever flown from coast to coast, what did it cost you? And that's just in the continental US. Imagine being able to fly with your family from Seattle to Florida free. And that's what Space A is. It is a benefit to be able to fly on military flights continentally. You cannot fly internationally. So don't think that you're gonna take a quick flight to Japan with the family with Space A, because that's not the way it works. But in the States, you can fly from Florida to Washington, Space A. It is a benefit that I, like I said, plan on taking advantage of, because not only do I want to see how it works, but I want to see if that free actually is beneficial. Not all free is bad. So Space A travel is something that I will keep you guys up on in the future. We'll see how that goes. So many benefits of being a 100% rated veteran, not just for you, but for your family as well. If you guys come into the room, let me know where you're from and where you are in your VA journey. I am here to take care of not only our veterans, but also veterans' families, their advocates, and their children. Let's make sure Facebook is still turned on here, guys. So, that's my spiel for today. I appreciate you guys coming out, but let me give you a bonus before we head out. If you come into the room, let me know where you're from. Let me throw you a bonus real quick. I live in Krabi, Thailand. I could not afford to live in the US at the compensation rate, even at 100%. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, I don't know how you couldn't live with that rate in the US. You don't know the difference of living overseas and the things that we don't pay for here compared to the things that the States do. And a lot of you have become very comfortable with paying for things that are BS and are only stateside type payments. One case in point is insurance. Insurance is a scam. Insurance in itself, $200-300 a month for something that may or may not happen. And then if it does happen, they still make you pay a certain amount to even activate it to begin with. Insurance is a scam, brothers and sisters, and we don't have those issues over here because you pay for your insurance one time and it covers you for as long as you have that vehicle. Now, mind you, there are other things that you don't have here that you still do have in the States. There's lots of conveniences in the States, but a lot of you are stuck in that race simply because you're accustomed to paying for things that you wouldn't have to pay for if you weren't in the States. I'll give you another story. My daughter and I, my family, were walking outside the other day, and my daughter got stung in the face. We needed to go to the doctor. Now, in the States, you would normally walking in the door have to pay or have your medical coverage card out immediately. That's not so here. We walked into the doctor's office. It's clean, it's modern, it's state of the art. We spoke to someone. They took us immediately to the next position. We talked to the doctor. The doctor was a little confused as to what the problem may be. She told us to hold on. She reached out to other colleagues. She came back 15 minutes later. She prescribed, she told, we walked out. We paid $150 for the entire situation. When was the last time you walked into the doctor's office for less than $150? What up, Space Force? Greetings, Earthling. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for checking in. If you guys don't know, Space Force is he's that guy. He's the man and the myth. Thank you for checking in, brother. And if you guys are on TikTok, because you're watching me, go check out his page. He is hilarious, especially for Space Force guy. I didn't even know you guys really existed. I thought it was a fake thing that Trump was setting up. That's besides the point. Welcome, Space Force. You're a part of the group. You're like a second cousin to us. We love you, but I appreciate you for stopping here, brother. So yes, we're talking about moving abroad, the things that we pay for, the things that we don't pay for here. You guys are brainwashed. There's a lot of stuff in the US that you pay for that you don't have to pay for overseas. And if you just decided to get out of that rat race, not only would a lot of your issues and symptoms kind of fade away, but you would understand that It's made for you to fail in the U.S. Everything is inflated on purpose, and not just the U.S., but in Western civilization, they are to a point where everybody is just a mouse on a wheel, and they just want to burn you out until you die. And it's unfortunate, but that is the day and age that we live in nowadays, where people are just they're not worth. They're not, or at least they treat people like they're not worth anything, and that's unfortunate. But moving overseas and taking your money where it's more valuable, where you get more bang for your buck, where things are not as expensive as they are in the States, where you can buy a full meal for your family for less than $20. You can't even go to McDonald's for less than $20 anymore in the US. Guys, give me a shout out, let me know if I'm right or wrong. So that when you're overseas and you're paying so much less, you can afford so much more. My family and I, we live in Thailand, and we must go on a border run. The visa here is a little bit difficult to get. That's another story in itself, but we must go on a border run. And for a family of 4 traveling to Kuala Lumpur, Asia, the flights are round trip, about $120 a piece, round trip. There's not too many places in the world where you can cross a border and go into another country for less than $500 US. So I really implore you guys, once you get to your 100%, once you started to self-advocate, once your family, your friends, your advocates have pushed you through, you finally make it to the 100% P&T, and you don't know what to do, one of the first things you should consider is packing up and moving overseas. Get out of that rat race. I promise you a lot of your health issues are coming from being in that situation. So let's talk about it a little bit. You don't think that you can get benefits overseas? That's wrong. I live here and I get benefits overseas. I get paid every first of the month with no problems. Sometimes the VA pays me early. Even better. You get paid overseas, so don't believe that you can't get paid overseas. If you are not rated yet, you can get rated overseas. And it's even cheaper than getting rated in the US. How, you say? The doctors in Asia are half, a portion, a piece of what it costs to go see a doctor in the States. You can go get your Nexus letter. You can get your DBQ. You can be seen by the doctor for a fraction of the cost in the Philippines or in Thailand than it would cost in the States, or maybe even just the Western hemisphere itself. It's expensive over there, guys. So you can get paid while you're overseas. It's tax-free. You can set up your claim and see doctors while you're here at a fraction of the cost of what it would cost in the US. You can be reimbursed while you're overseas with the F&P program if it works. If you get it, good for you, but you can be reimbursed, and the program is there through F&P. Direct deposit comes through. Sometimes it comes through early. If you're with USAA or Navy Federal, sometimes you get that deposit a little bit early, which is, lovely doing this before the weekend. You get paid before the weekend. And you can travel to different countries almost that day for less than $120 US a month. You can hop from Thailand to Malaysia to the Philippines to Japan for less than what it would cost to go from California to Florida. Say it needs a DBQ. Can I get one for 8 things? So say it needs a DBQ. You're always going to have a DBQ. There's always going to be a disability questionnaire involved. Anytime you go through the VA process, the compensation claim process, you're always going to go through needing to answer the DBQ, because more than likely the VA is going to send you to a C&P exam. And when you go to that C&P exam, the doctor is going to have that issue's DBQ. So if you're applying for migraines, when you go in to see the doctor, he's going to have that DBQ in front of him, and he's going to ask you questions based on the DBQ. And if you don't know the answers to those questions, you're gonna get rated 0. You're gonna get rated non-service connected. You're gonna get rated low ball, whatever it may be. You need to be able to answer the question when the doctor asks. Throw up the dynasty sign, Jay-Z fans. Throw up the diamond. When did it start? What are your symptoms? How does it affect you today? My migraine started in the military. They are throbbing, they ache, it's numb, it's lightning. I must go lay down, it hurts. I must hide from my family. It affects me today because I can't go to work. I can't keep a job. I get angry and upset with my family. I break things, I hide, whatever it may be. That's how you get rated with your 50% prostrating for the migraine. Yep, I'm there for you, Mark. I'm there for you, brother. I'm always here for you. So when you go in and talk to the doctor, you are answering the DBQ in that moment, and that's what that is. So, we'll be back overseas. Hey, Artemis, you need to come over here. Get over here with me, brother. It is a beautiful lights over here, man. So, moving overseas, plan wisely though. Don't do like me and just sell everything and say screw it right after a global incident and say I never want to come back to this place again. Sell your cars, sell your homes, sell everything, and just run overseas. Not necessary. Plan accordingly. There's no need to be crazy with your travel overseas, but it's much better over here, people. I tell you, things are much cheaper. Quality's still very close to what you're used to in the States, and you get to go to many countries, tons of countries, at a fraction of the price of what it would cost you to travel in the States. Yeah, 4 kids? No, not 4 kids, 4 dependents. 4 dependents. So my wife, she would probably say I'm the kid, but my wife and my 2 children, and I also support my father, who is in an assisted living home. He had a huge issue a couple of years ago, and he is now being taken care of full time. So I have him covered under my VA, and I send a certain amount of money home to make sure that he is covered, because he does not get enough money from Social Security to cover his stay at the assisted living. So that's my story. So I appreciate it. It's one of those things. Once again, as best, man. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it is what it is. You suck it out, right? Yep. So I have 4 kids. Oh, you got 4 kids. Oh, I got you. Reading it wrong. Yeah, what's up though? Oh, better get them covered under the business, brother, so you can get that extra pay. Make sure you get to that 100% so that they can be covered and get all the benefits that is due to them. So that we are at the end of our stay, because my back can't handle it. My foot is starting to go numb. It is throbbing. There is shooting to the bottom of my foot. It aches, and I am going to need to stand up. If I don't stand up soon, I know I'm going to be screwed tomorrow. I must get ready and help myself. Self-advocate, people. That's all I got to say. Before we wrap it up, I just want to remind everybody that's watching, please give this to a vet that needs it. Send this to a vet that is stuck at 70%, that's stuck at 80%, that just can't figure out how to move past it. Because at the end of the day, as long as we don't gatekeep, we're all here. We should all be here to help each other. We should all be here to not be crabs in a barrel, to help each other get to the mountaintop. Let me give you a stat before we head out, because I just heard this stat. There are 17 million veterans in the States. And at any given time, there's only 1 million of them rated. No, that can't be right. Let me stop that. I'm gonna go figure that out. Let me hold on for a second. Let me pull this up, because I had it written down here. There's 17 million veterans in the States. And then there's 6 million that are rated. So there's 17 million veterans. 6 million are rated through the VA, Duncan. As you come into the room, let me know where you guys are from. 6 million are rated through the VA. So I always find it funny and weird when people say that the VA system is one of the most fraud systems there is, because out of 17 million, not even half are rated to begin with. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then out of the 6 million that are rated, only about 1 million are 100%. So, to that math, out of the 17 million veterans out there, 6 million of them are rated, and only 1 million of them are 100%. If you can't tell me that it does not sound like a disparaging number, you're crazy. There's something wrong with the system. All of us should be 100%. All of us should be taken care of. But why are we having to fight for our rights? Why do we have to fight for our benefits? Why do we have to go back to the VA and prove that we were in combat when we clearly were at a documented place at the time? Why must we prove that we were a part of the PACT Act or at Camp Lejeune, and as a Vietnam vet, you know, Agent Orange has caused my cancer? Why must I prove these things to you? Because the VA doesn't care. The VA is only there to compensate you guys. And if you don't go in to be compensated, they're gonna treat you accordingly. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I'm currently, Duncan, what's up, bro? My bad, brother. Trying to get to 100%. That's what's up. You're at 80%. What up? No, where you at? Michigan, man. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Good to meet you. Duncan, if you're at 80% right now, I'm gonna tell you like I told Artemis, you are one slam dunk away. You are one home run away from being 100%. I have to be honest. Detroit, what up though, brother? East Side, you know how we do. Mac and Van Dyke over here. That's what's up. You are much better off at 80% than you are at 90%. And I know that sounds weird, but 6 Mile, that's what's up. 6 Mile, what up though, man? Right on the corner, bro. That's what's up. But so, hold on, at 80%, man, you are much closer to you 100% than you are at 90. Because that last 90%, that momentum to get over that hump is extremely difficult. But if you're at 80%, you can get much more momentum to go over that hump and get there to that 100%. So just like somebody else that I've spoken to, if you're at 80% overall currently and you're rated at 0% for your migraines, you going to get your 50% will absolutely take you to 100%. But you got to get rated properly, guys. So please send me a DM, tell me help, tell me claim, tell me, send me whatever you guys need to, man, to get this assistance, because I know every brother from Detroit, every brother from Texas, wherever you are from, man, I am here to take care of you, because at the end of the day, I believe every veteran deserves 100%, man. I truly do. I got them to get from this, and I got to get this, yeah, I'm telling you, the 50% of the migraines will take you over that hump, brother. And then so we're doing claims the right and strategic way. We don't just throw anything at the wall and hope that it sticks. We work on secondaries and we do HLRs. I've got a vet right now that's up at the BBA level, the Board of Veteran Affairs, and we're working with him as well. So trust me when I say, man, that we have run the gauntlet. Whatever you're going through, I promise you, we have seen it before, and there's a strategy for you. So Duncan, I'm 70% PTSD with 30% IBS. I have a CPAP, so put in for sleep apnea and migraines, assign me a CF. Yeah, okay, so that is an excellent strategy. So when you talk about the 70% PTSD, that is the same for me. And that 70% is usually the pinnacle, because the VA has gotten very stringent on giving out 100% PTSDs, right? Then you have to be completely total, and that takes a lot of patience and evidence for that. So at 70%, you've done yourself a service. Now at 30% IBS, I'm not so familiar with IBS. I'm not sure the ratings for it, but if it's just like anything else, it's probably 0, 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, and 100. But at 30% IBS, even at 30%, it's usually a pretty high rating for any rating. So at 30% IBS, I'm gonna guess that you're already there at your limit. And then so CPAP, yes, the VA does not care about CPAPs anymore. See, this is the thing with the VA. If they give you something for whatever ails you, they're going to treat it like it's fixed you. So if they give you a CPAP for your sleep apnea, they're going to make it more difficult for you to get rated for your sleep apnea, because they've given you the fix for your sleep apnea. Make that make sense? So when you go back in for your sleep apnea, make sure it's secondary to your PTSD, or if it's standalone and you've got the evidence to prove your sleep apnea, and it's a hard scale to get up for that sleep apnea, If it's just the primary, there's other things that fall underneath that as well. But I'll keep harping on it to the end of the day. Migraines and getting migraines connected is one of the best things you can do for yourself, because there's so many secondaries that come along with migraines, from the tinnitus to the vertigo to the hearing loss to the memory loss issues to the depression and anxiety. All of those things can be claimed as secondary, and then they take you to you 100% from there. So I would tell you, figure out exactly where you are with your migraines. Did they rate you 0, or did they deny you completely? If they denied you completely, why did they deny you? Go back and fix that. If they rated you at 0, why were you rated at 0? Your severity and your frequency, was it enough? You weren't talking about how truly you have your problems that are prostrating to get to 50%. And then so those migraines can fall into insomnia as well, or they can fall into other things. The secondary that comes along with migraines is huge. But if I was you, I would say really look into that migraines, because the sleep apnea has been cut off. The sleep apnea, if they gave you a CPAP, they're going to make it more difficult for you to get a service connected. And then insomnia can come along, like I said, it's a secondary to migraines. But what's causing your insomnia, and were you already denied for those things? So Artemis, let's get to it. If I'm 30% for depression, do I file a new PTS claim? So once again, these things are small caveats. If you've already filed and you're already 30%, how long ago did you get rated? If it's been more than a year, you're going to need to put in a new claim. If it's within that 12-month period, you can put in for a supplemental claim and tell them that you have new and relevant evidence to prove that your depression is higher than 30%. Now, depression is rated under the same umbrella as PTSD. So it does not matter if you go back for PTSD. It does not matter if you go back for major depressive disorder. If you're already rated for depression, they're going to take that depression up to the next level. And depression is rated at 0, 10, 30, 50, 70, and 100, just like every other mental health claim. So if you're at 30%, I guarantee you're already lowballed. You need to get that higher as well. And if your migraines are causing your depression, you can let them know, hey, these things are playing into each other. They're making each other worse. So yes, go back for your PTSD or go back for your depression. But if it's been within the year, make it a secondary. If it's been outside of the year, you're going to need to put in a new 526CZ. You're going to need to do a new claim for that one. So PTSD is all the same. It doesn't matter if it's depression or not. They're going to rank it under the same. And then so yes, if you make it a secondary, if you're already rated for depression, it's already a primary. You can attach secondary to your depression, whatever comes along with that depression. May it be anxiety or whatever it is, but you can attach that whatever comes along with depression to that. But it's all going to be rated under the same thing for mental health. So let's see, for migraine submitted, I submitted both psychs and yes, see, here we go, denied first time. So once again, the VA is going to deny you for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. You can throw in all the evidence you want to. They could say you put the wrong letter down in the wrong place on the wrong form, bang, you're denied. They could say they sent out a letter to tell you to be at a certain place at a certain time and you didn't make it, bang, denied. They can say that maybe the doctor doesn't believe you. Maybe the doctor believes that you're malingering and you're lying about it being in service, and you're denied. Maybe the doctor believes it started after service. Yes, you said that the diamond, D said throw up the diamond, right? The doctor doesn't believe you. That's where the nexus letter comes in. That's what the C&P exam is for. That's what the DBQ is. So if you said that you're denied first time, could be 1,000 reasons as to why you're denied. But the way you find out is to open up your rating letter, open up that letter that they sent you, that decision letter, scroll to the back of it, it will tell you, you got denied for these reasons. Read them, figure out exactly why, and figure out what you need to do to fix it. Whatever they're telling you you're missing, you gotta go give it to them. Sometimes they make it difficult, sometimes it's pretty easy. But you won't know until you actually go read your letter. So go do that, guys. And let's see, we're still in on Facebook as well. Please let me know where you're from. If you're still in service and you're ready to get out, oh man, I feel for you guys, but there's things that you guys can do as well before you get out to set yourself up to make sure that it's not a failure for you out of the gate like it was for me. And then, so if you're already out, you've been denied a couple times, we're talking about it. Hey, there's ways around this, from supplemental claims to your HLRs, and maybe even going to the BVA. But I feel for you if you got to go to that level. It's not good. So let's see, denied first time and then service connection denied. And see, there we go. Why was your service connection denied? Was it from something that you said? Was it that the doctor didn't believe you? Was it because it was not in your medical records? Was it because you did not have any buddy letters? Was it, so there's lots of reasons, and you don't know until you literally look at that letter, and that letter will tell you exactly why you were denied. And it could be multiple reasons. They could have multiple reasons as to why you got denied, to tell you the truth. So once again, guys, I appreciate you coming in and talking to me, listening to me talk. If you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you need help with when it comes to your VA claim, you're just not sure where to start, you're not, as a family member or a spouse, your husband is just difficult, and you know you need assistance, please reach out to me. I am more than happy to assist even the most grumpy of vets. I am here to take care of you guys. And before I head out, I truly want to say thank you for your service to everybody that's out there. A lot of us deserve more than what we're getting right now, and that is a shame. That is an embarrassment to our country and the things that we should have in place for us without having to fight for them. And then, so with that being said, I am here to make sure that you get everything that you deserve, every benefit that's coming to you and your family. And I appreciate everything that you guys have done, and that's my reason, that's my purpose. So please, guys, don't be quiet, don't suck it up, don't deal with it. Every benefit that you have earned, you deserve. Go get rated, put the time in, be serious about this, understand your DBQ, understand what's being asked of you before you go into the CMP exam. Truly keep up with the time for your CMP exam, because if you don't make it, they'll deny you immediately for no other reason, just for missing the exam. Don't give the VA the opportunity and the ammunition to deny you for the most simplistic stuff. I hope everything that I've said tonight has resonated with you guys, man. Truly reach out to me, because I'm always here to take care of you. DM me, let me know what you're looking for. If you need, reach out to me, because I'm always here to take care of you. DM me, let me know what you're looking for. If you need help with documentation, fixing your documents and fixing your paperwork, I got you. If you're not sure how to call the VA, you're just nervous to call the VA so you can get online and get logged in, I got you. If you're from Detroit and you need some help because you're from 6 Mile, and you know brothers over in 6 Mile truly need that assistance, I got you. I'm here to serve you guys in every way, shape, or form, and I truly do appreciate your service. So reach out to me at D Helps Vets on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, here on TikTok. I'm working on getting on X, but I'm a little nervous myself about getting on that platform, but we'll be there soon too. And then on Facebook, we are at VBI INTL, Victor Bravo India Tango Lima. Let me make sure I get it right this time. VBI INTL. And if you are a family member that needs that help, hey guys, I'm here for you. Definitely looking forward to taking care of you. Stay strong, man. It takes a lot not to just be a veteran, but to deal with us veterans. So I appreciate everybody's journey out there, and hope that you get to the level that you deserve. So look forward to talking to you guys again in the future. Peace.